All right, cool. We good. We up. We up. All right, cool. Everything good around these parts. All right, cool. Respectfully, I know who to pass the gun to. You heard me? No. All right, so we got some things to talk about. What up, though, Miss Chirac? What's happening in Phoenix? We got some things to talk about, and I'm here to talk about them. I am here to have a conversation about them. Make sure y'all go to the YouTube. Please pin the YouTube to the top of the room. We here and we're going to talk and discuss some things. Yeah, let me share this on. Let me share this in the respected spaces on Instagram. Let's do this like this. We're gonna start in. All right, cool. 1 minute. I'm going to play something for you guys as well. Give me 1 second here. Share this to Facebook as well. Okay. Okay, what's happening with you? Queen, what's happening with you? All right, cool. All right, so this is what I want to do. I want to have a conversation with you guys because there's a lot that's going on, right? And part of what's going on is respectfully. All right, cool. Here we go. All right, a lot is going on outside, and there's a lot of, I don't know if you want to call them relationship experts, people that write books. There's just a lot going on, right? And first and foremost, shout out to DWI Music. We got Dave in the room. We got Latoya. I see we got Kev Pryor. We got Allison. What up, Thotty? And we got the Giants pulling up. Shout out to Angel from the East. Tap in. If you guys want to be brought up to the station, you guys are in the goo. Make sure you hit the button, and my minds respectfully bring you guys up. With that being said, I'm going to play something for you guys. I'm going to get you guys' point of view. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit that like button and share the room respectfully in the respected spaces. Hit the like button. Live. We are live. We are here. We here for the shits. We here for a nice vibe. We not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. So make sure you hit the like button as I play this clip because I want to get what you guys think of it. Tap in. All right, where we at? We on this one, right? All right, here we go. Oh, let me start that from the beginning. Where's the sound? Here we go.
You see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I had 2 boyfriends at the time, and he knew that going into it. And my first husband, I married out of fear.
Who was your first husband?
That was Darius.
Oh, I know him too.
Yeah, so I married him out of fear because someone had broken into my house. But I had 2 boyfriends in my first marriage. I had 2 boyfriends in my second marriage. And then like my third marriage, I didn't have any boyfriends. But so monogamy is, I think, my happy space. Oh, God. Okay, I gotta be honest. I feel like monogamy is a good place for me to be, but I've never actually done it. So,
All roads leads us here. We're going to wake some things up today, and I know we're going to probably get under a few people's skin. Yet and still, here we are. We're going to unpack a few things. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. Please make sure you hit the like button. Share the room. We got a couple people here on Clubhouse. I need you guys to share the room so we can have a nice conversation. Mods, pin the topic to the top of the room as it pertains to current events or whatever it is. We got some topics that's open up there that we can pin to the top. Thank you for sharing the YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button, share it. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button, share it. We're going to have a conversation. What up, better known as? Okay. Yes. That's a fact. You were. We're going to have a conversation about Kevin Samuels versus Karrine Steffans. Who advice are you taking? This is going to be a good conversation because I think outside of they having their first initials are mirroring. Am I saying that right? Mirroring one another. Is very interesting because one writes books. Karrine Steffans, she's been out here for a very long time. I think she wrote 3 books, 3 New York Times bestsellers. And she has an allure because she's been with some of perhaps your favorite artists out there in the industry, and she outs them. You know what I mean? In her book, she outs them, and she talked about a few things, and she put a few things out there that probably shouldn't have been out there. But long story less long, Karrine Steffans, somebody who's been very open and very honest about being, and very vocal about being promiscuous, if you will, for lack of better words. And then we have Kevin Samuels, someone who's been very, very open and honest about things and saying things and not caring about the feelings that's attached to it. I think that there's a negative connotation attached to both of these individuals. And I'm here to unpack it. I'm here to see and gain and see who advice are you taking. And I think it's going to be an amazing conversation. So don't make me call on you because I will. Please share this room. If you're on Clubhouse, share this room. I want to see you guys share the room in the hallways. And respectfully, hit the like button if you on YouTube. Hit the like button. Matter of fact, go to my YouTube. Pin the YouTube back. Yeah, let's pin the YouTube. Let's keep the YouTube up here so people can hit that YouTube or whatever the case may be. We're going to talk about it. We're going to let everybody know what they need to know about Karrine Steffans and Kevin Samuels. So yeah, please put the YouTube back up there. Let's keep that at the top of the room. Tap in with us though. Oh man. Greetings and salutations. Round of applause for everybody being here. We want to talk about some things. And what up, collectors? I see we got DMS Seafoods up here. We got better known as on Instagram. So tap in with us. Let me know how you guys feel. Karrine Steffans versus Kevin Samuels. Who advice are you taking? Clubhouse.
She giving advice? I didn't know that was a thing. That's scary. That's a scary thought. Yeah. So if we even go back to how are you giving? Oh God, I'm getting ahead again. I haven't even started. How are you giving advice on anything? I don't like monogamy. That was it right there. You know what I'm saying? And anybody, what is she giving about how to be a hoe? I mean, what advice are we giving? And I mean that in all as disrespectfully as I can. I'm just playing, but seriously, I don't understand how anybody would listen to anything she had to say. I'm just confused. Is this an actual position? I don't know. I need someone to make it make sense for me.
Well,
Go for it. Go for it, Ohima.
I was going to say, well, it depends on what type of advice you're looking for. If you're looking on information in regards to how to please your man sexually, I actually think she would be one of the best people to go to. If you're looking for advice on how to become a wife, maybe a Kevin Samuels in certain aspects may be someone to listen to. So I think that each person has a role and a category, And I think you have to delineate what it is that you're trying to get from them, what it is, what type of information you're trying to extract from them. Again, when it comes to how to please someone sexually, I actually do think that she would be someone to learn from. But when it comes to having access to a certain caliber of man, I may go to a Kevin Samuels for certain aspects of that. I'll park.
Yeah, I agree with that part, Betty. If you know, if you want to know, how to do a Kegel, or like, which position, or I can't, and I don't know. I guess for me, the issue with her, I shouldn't take it so personally. It's just like, I feel like there's integrity, like you around certain people, and if we, the books, everything. I think that's probably why I have such a sour taste in my mouth. I
Mm.
just feel like, her integrity wise, you were allowed in certain spaces. People let you in their camp, and then you just, spilled the beans. You know what I'm saying? Like, we come exactly from the same era, and I could write a book. I choose not to. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it was my choice to be in certain situations, and that's that. I don't. She couldn't tell me anything. Maybe something sexually. It's just always gonna go back to integrity for me, and I park.
Mm. That word integrity. That word integrity. Tap in with me. Let me know how you guys are feeling. We got Duke up here. Shout out to you, Duke. Appreciate you pulling up. We got Abby down there. Tap in with me. Let's see, Latoya. Who are you taking advice from? Kevin Samuels or Karrine Steffans?
Well, if it's gonna go towards relationships and stuff like that, I'm definitely gonna go with K. Samuels on that one. He might not came across as the most nicest person, but he has a lot of very good viewpoints, and gave you quite a reality check. So, relationship wise, I'm going with Kevin Samuels. But like, if I want to learn how to, give a hell of a blowjob, or how to do a cartwheel on it, then I'm gonna go with
Oh God, I'm
Karrine
not.
Steffans, because like she even said, she's the happiest when she's in a monogamous relationship, but she's never been in one. So how she know that's when she's the happiest? So how can I take advice from
Wow.
someone that's kind of like contradicting themselves? So yeah, I'm good on her.
Mm. Mm. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you, right? My thing is, and can we just talk about the elephant in the room? Because I don't want us to highlight Kevin Samuels in a way because he passed away, right? Because death has a way of doing that to people, right? We'll highlight something and talk about how advice and whatnot that we taken from X Y Z, this person, that person. However, because they passed away, it'll definitely affect our viewpoint. But I'm just wondering. Allison, I know Allison probably can't jump off her mic. D, are you by your mic, King? All right, D probably just listening. Let me see who we got here. Kev, tap in with me, Kev. The real Kev Pryor. With the real Kev, please stand up.
I'm here, Broadway. What's up? Break it
Who
down.
who advice are you taking? If both are giving advice, who are you taking it from and why, King?
Well, when you think about this, right? I mean, we live in a world where anybody and everybody has an opinion, and social media, and Superhead came out a little, probably a little bit earlier than the social media explosion. We listen to both these people, and they have access and they have voices. From a standpoint, um, it really comes down to who and what you're looking for.
Mm,
Now, again, I think the Corinne Steffens thing is probably privy to what a lot of young girls who are trying to who they feel are trying to break into the industry, or trying to use their bodies as weapons. They're going to listen to a Corinne Steffens, but then you got to ask yourself, well, how far did they get Corinne Steffens? Yeah, she had a flash in the pan, but how far did they get there? The Kevin Samuels situation, rest in peace. Obviously, he had a good couple year run. Even though he was around for over a decade. He had a really strong last couple years to his passing,
Right.
where it was more of a situation where the conversation was more strategic. See, the Karrine Steffans situation, her advice is more physical. Okay, this is what you do. Kevin Samuels, to me, his advice was more strategic, even if it was something you didn't want to hear. Okay, because a lot of women, they came to him for advice, they didn't get the answers they wanted. But again, it was strategic because you're trying to find what's in a man's mind. You're trying to find out um, how can I better myself to a situation with the high value man and all that stuff. So it was more strategic. So I think again, it depends on where you want to go. Corinne was more physical. Hey, listen, you know what? I wasn't monogamous. It's all about what you can bring, all about the pleasure. But
Mm-hmm.
just like eating an ice cream cone, you might love chocolate, but once the ice cream cone is gone, well, what do you do then? So I always go with the strategic aspect because the mind aspect lasts longer than just the physical aspect.
Than
And
just the
I'll leave it
physical
there.
aspect. No, no.
Correct.
Round of applause for that because that's. I like that. I like that. I like that. I think I think for me, it's very hard because I understand what Ohima. I'm sorry, Ohima. You know what Ohima said about it depends on what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for someone who's going to give you advice on what you trying to do in the bedroom, you might want to adhere to that text, right? But if you're telling me you're going and you're looking for advice as it pertains to being in a faithful, committed marriage and so forth and so on, if you're going to Karrine Steffans for that, I may have some questions for you, right? But I thought these two were two individuals to match up against one another because the fact of the matter is they're very controversial, right? They've been in multiple instances. They've been in multiple instances not regarded by the opposite sex, right? Where the Karrine Steffans people that tend to like her content and some of the things that she say and that narrative that she pushes out there. Some people tend to men don't tend to typically side with that because of how she ousted a lot of people in the industry, right? And I think I think that there's a good amount of women that don't like that neither, right? And on the opposite side to it, where the Kevin Samuels people, a lot of women are big with how women say that tonality, right? And how you're saying things, right? It's not speaking at, it's speaking to. And Kevin Samuels, respectfully, he often came off as, God rest his soul, often came off as somebody who didn't much care about the way that he delivered it. He cared more so about the fact that it was delivered. You get what I'm saying? So I feel and believe that it depends on what you're trying to get out of it, right? And Kevin Samuels, I feel like Kevin Samuels was a person that tried to be fair, because I honestly seen that he don't have some very choice words for men. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to get it from you guys. Shout out to Shelly being in here. Let's see if we could get. I'm gonna ping somebody here, see if they pull up. But Kevin Samuels versus Karrine Steffans. Who are you taking advice from, respectfully? What up, though, Keisha? I see we got Quay in here. What up, City? I see we got a few people in here. What up, though? Tap in with me. Don't make me call on you because you know I will. David, who are you taking advice from, King?
I'm going with Kevin Samuels. I know he was a little controversial because of his approach and how he would deliver it to women. He sounded a little cold and brash, but I think what he tried to get people to do is think holistically about their value. And it's like you don't want to limit a woman to a value, but you got to think about it as a product in a supermarket. It's like, your value diminishes with a lot of variables, with age, with the amount of times you've been married, the amount of kids. So it was very controversial the way he would spit his rhetoric, but it made a lot of sense. And I think a lot of times people like they took something away from it, but his approach was so brash and abrupt that it was like offensive at times. So I think he gave men and women a lot to think about your value and what you're looking at of a relationship, where you're looking at the opposite sex. So I definitely like Kevin Samuels. He just was a little rough at times. There were times he would have good conversation. I feel like the woman were satisfied with the reception he would give them, like the advice he would give them. Um, and as far as Karrine Steffans, yeah, she got like a bad rap because of her book. Deservingly so, because of her books and the Diary of a Vixen and all that. I learned about Karrine Steffans because of Jadakiss. He had that verse on the Locks album when he was like, "I know a chick named Superhead."
Superhead. She gave
Yeah,
Superhead.
she even gave a Superhead. Just moved into the building, even get it. So I thought hip hop had a connection, and all the people she used, all the relationships she had in the industry to blow her up. And it was a little, deceiving, and it was self-serving, and it was like she threw everybody under the bus for her success. So I wouldn't get down with that. I don't like that kind of evil energy, that malcontent for other people. She just threw so many people under the bus. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I think he had a lot of value to offer. But something somebody said, because I was talking about him, he ended up alone. I think he was married once or twice, but at the end he ended up alone. And there were accusations that he might have been with a I don't know if it's true or not, that he might have ended, he might have been with a prostitute. He might have died with a prostitute. So it's like you could give all that advice, but you also got to practice what you preach, and you got to be careful who you take your advice from. At the end of the day, is your life. You got to live your own journey and walk in your own path. And so I'm just giving that as food for thought. Just because somebody's giving advice don't mean they have all the answers, or their life is perfect as well. So I just wanted to give that perspective, something to think about as well. And I land my plane. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak.
I think it's very interesting. What you talking about. I think it's very interesting what you're talking about. Hopefully the sounds better on Instagram now. I think it's very interesting what you mentioned, because right. I think his narrative that Kevin Samuels spewed out there had more to do about marriage, right? About the black family being together, marriage, and the ramifications of not being married, right? Shout out to Primo, Sammy. I see you, 21 Keys, Shelly. I see you guys tapping in on Clubhouse. Shout out to King. I see you, King, on Instagram. I think Kevin Samuels' energy had a lot to do about marriage and pumping out that narrative of the ramifications of being married versus not being married, right? And being with the person that you want to be with, and that best goes with your personality and the narrative that you want to have for your life, right? And also women that say they want a high value man, but they doing low level, and they giving low level energy. Shout out to Darius. I see you, Darius, on the gram. My energy is, I think they both have their place, right? I'm not here to say one is greater than or less than. I'm not the biggest. I haven't always been the biggest fan for some of the content that both of them put out. You understand what I'm saying? Let's wake that up. I haven't been the biggest fan of all of the caping and capping that they did on social media. But I will say that they both serve their purpose, right? Good angel, bad devil, right? On your shoulders, the conscience, right? Your conscience, right? So I want to get it from you guys. I see we got Primo in here. We got Sammy. We got a few giants in here. We got Vern. Tap in. Make sure you go to the YouTube. Hit my YouTube. Broadway the Giant. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube. I see a few of you guys on YouTube. Let's go. Yes, sir. I see you guys out here. Let's go. Let's wake it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Make sure you hit that like button and tap in. If you like the show, make sure you hit that Cash App as well. We having a conversation about Kevin Samuels versus Karrine Steffans. Yeah, KS. You choose. I think that both served their purpose, and they serve their purpose even to today. David, you said something about ultimately he passed away alone, right? We got to define, I want to wake that alone part up, right? Because on the side to it of being alone, would you much rather be alone knowing, what am I trying to say? Would you much rather be alone and know why you're alone and going in a certain direction, or be with someone and be with them for all the wrong reasons? Wake it up. Tap in with me.
Yeah, and that's a great, very good question. I think while you're working on yourself, or you're working towards your journey or success, sometimes it's better to be alone so you can focus and concentrate. And sometimes, if the partner is not supportive, they can get away of that path and that journey. So I say that to say sometimes it's better to be alone. But I mean, he's giving all this advice about marriage advice and relationship advice, and he's telling all these women that they're gonna be alone if they don't change their ways. And the irony is he ended up alone.
But hold on.
So
But whoa,
yeah,
whoa, 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 whoa. Because he's been married before, right? To my understanding, he's been married before, right? So his point of reference is coming from that, right? His point of reference may have been coming from a place of I've been there, I've done that before, and this is it on both sides to it, right? While many only occupy one or the other, and they're trying to get to the other, and they don't actually have a point of reference to say why X, Y, Z. And sometimes too, to be honest with you, it comes across like how can you get? I honestly feel like what you're saying, David, would hold more value to it if he's never been married or had kids. I believe he had kids. I'm not sure. Don't get me lying, but I'm gonna park there.
yeah, no, understandably so. I just think he's a relationship expert, so it's like I think sometimes that advice holds more merit when somebody's actually living what they say or they're practicing what they preach. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm just speaking from that perspective. But yeah, man, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels.
Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, respectfully. Anybody got anything else on Kevin Samuels before we jump into this Karrine Steffans bag? Because I feel like they both was able to do an amazing thing in their own respected fields. I just don't, when we talking about Karrine Steffans, I'm just not sure I'm susceptible to. Oh, what about this? I'm not sure I'm able to take advice from somebody that's never been monogamous, right? So even though she might be talking about giving good head and what to do, this and these different things to attract your man, ultimately, what are you doing to keep your man? What are you
So
go for it, Benny? I mean Ohima.
this is Ohima. Thank you. So the thing is, actually, I do think that women can take advice on some level from a superhead. And the reason why I say that is because, a lot of times men like quote unquote hoes because they bring a level of excitement and a break from whatever monotonous experience that they're going through. They are stress relievers, and I think that it's a form of escapism. And so I think that, like, if I were on my way to get married, I actually would sit down and have a conversation with a superhead. And I say this because I remember I was watching an interview she did where she talked about how a lot of rappers' wives would actually call her looking for their husband. Why would they know to call her to look for their husbands? Clearly, if he's not at home and he's going with her, that means that there's something that she's doing that the wife is not doing. There's something that she's tapping into in those men that the wife isn't capable of doing. So someone like that, you would want to talk to see what is it that she's tapping into. What energy is she drawing out of that guy? What emotions is she drawing out of that guy for him to go and be lured to her and leave his wife and kids to be with her? There's something there. And so I think that we can't just fully dismiss her because she's waking something up in these men that the wives may not be waking up. And it's sort of like when you turn
It's their penis.
the knob.
She's waking up their penis.
Yes, she is. But outside of that, I do think outside of the sexual component, I do think that she did bring some level of excitement on an emotional level to these men. And there was a level of craziness that she had that I think that they liked. And so I do think that women should talk to a superhead to find out where exactly that is coming from. It's sort of like turning a dial knob where you can either be super cold on one extreme or super hot on the other extreme. And I do think that there's certain aspects of her that you can hone in as a wife where you can turn the knob a little hotter, but not to the complete other end of the spectrum, and I'll park it there.
Shout out to Ohima. Ohima is woke. Never seen this side of Ohima. I've seen this side of the other one, but this Ohima, I haven't really seen this side of her before. But no, Ohima, she cooking though. Because hey, listen, I tell you this, right? Y'all know me. I go into spaces that I don't always agree with because I want to come back with some information and really know why I disagree with it. You get me? So for me, I like to really sit with the energy that I disagree with because I want to learn how to clock tick, right? And with was Karrine, I honestly feel like there's a place for everybody, and she's that place. You know, she's in her place where she's supposed to be. I believe also that yes, you can learn something from Karrine. I do believe that. I definitely do believe that. You know, and it's a matter of how you're listening, right? If I text you, are you there yet, or yo, are you home? And you having a bad day, you might read that as, yo, are you home? And I ain't never sucked my teeth. I just said the same thing. But the way that we read things via text, sometimes versus how somebody intend for it to come across, it may be extremely different. So it depends on how we're viewing Karrine Steffans content and Kevin Samuels content. Depending on how we're viewing and listening to things, could be the deciding factor on what we're pulling out of it, right? I know all too well that when it comes to listening to a Karrine Steffans, we did a whole podcast about this, and I was listening, and I'm like. And then I had to go back and watch some more of her content because it's not good enough to say I don't like someone or I don't like somebody. For me, I'm always trying to figure out the why. Because a lot of times we move around out here in this world and get into a bag of not liking people just because they did one thing. How many times you been to a restaurant for the first time, tried something on the menu and didn't like it? Hello? You understand what I'm saying? How many times? I got to go back to the restaurant and order a few. I might go there 2 or 3 times, even though I didn't like the first thing that I tried. And sometimes that's what it is with people. Sometimes we got to give them grace and try a few different things and see who they are. And why do people like you before making a definitive decision on I don't like them, right? And I think that's what it is. That was my mentality with Karrine Steffans. And when I sat there and got to view some other things, I felt like, well, there is a part of her narrative that she spewed out there that I do agree with, right? But again, it's about what ears are you listening to it with. I saw 21 pop off his mic. What up, though, beloved?
What's good, bro?
Welcome to the stage, King. What's your energy?
I think the Karrine Steffans is sexually free. She don't care about what you think about her, what you say in public, behind her back. She is sexually free. She is not afraid to express herself, sexually with a man to any capacity, right? Whatever that is, she's down with it. I think the issue is we live in a society where a lot of women are shamed for being sexually free.
Wake it up.
They're ashamed. They are shamed for committing certain sexual acts, even if it's with her man, right? Even if it's with their one man, their husband. Other people like they'll look at them sideways and they'll get judged. So I think she plays a role because of her freedom. She is free. Like she don't care about what the other people are doing. She's going to do what she's doing, right? And Kevin Samuels is the same way. He was free. Like even though unfortunately he passed away the way he did, but he was free. He didn't care what anybody think, what they thought, how they felt about him. He was going to say how he felt, and he was going to put it on the table, and he was going to argue anybody tooth and nail, and he was going to stand in his square, and he wasn't going to give a fuck. So they both have a lot of similarities. If you think about it, their messages is almost the same. It's about being free. Bottom line.
No, I'm gonna give you some resistance on that last part. And that resistance is I don't think Kevin Samuels' message was about being free. I think it had more so to do about marriage and if you are looking for a particular type of man or woman, right, you gotta do the work yourself and put yourself in a particular position so that what you ask for, you're willing to demand it yourself first, right?
Okay, so
I'm listening.
but hold on, right? That takes a certain mindset of being liberated to do that. When we're living in a society of go along, get along.
Okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, I mean, you do have to be a certain level of free, but I don't know, 21. I still feel as though when we're talking about Karrine Steffans, yes, right, yes, but when we're talking about the narrative that Kevin Samuels was putting out there about being submissive and that's not a certain level of free. That's a certain level of letting your man letting a man be a man and letting a woman be a woman, right? Being submissive isn't for everybody because some women identify being submissive as being weak, and it's not one and the same, but some identify it as such.
That's true. I agree. I agree with that. But and this is just my opinion. There has to have a certain level of freedom within yourself to want to submit or not to submit. Understand what I'm saying? Because if a woman openly and freely submits to a man, she's subjected to being ridiculed by women who think that shit is backwards, right? And then vice versa. The ones who don't want to submit, the ones who doesn't want to submit is going to get looked at the ones who do want to submit like, yo, like you're bugging out. So it has to be a level of freedom to live your life a certain way.
Yes.
And I think
I want to highlight these comments on Instagram. Shout out to Shantae, she on Instagram. Go to my YouTube and hit that like button. Hit that like button. Go to YouTube. She said, "I think I'm the only woman who agrees with a lot of things that Kevin Samuels said." I replied to her and said, "Nah, you aren't, but most are afraid to be labeled as pick-me's." She said, "I only talk to fellas about Kevin Samuels because a lot of these women are ready to jump down our throats if we agree with the bigger message he was trying to bring to the forefront." Wow. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about she says she's pretty much, she don't even talk to people about Kevin Samuels, women about Kevin Samuels because they're ready to jump down her throat. I feel as though I think a lot of women agree or can see and understand what Kevin Samuels be saying, but they are afraid of being labeled as pick-me's. Tap in, Clubhouse. What up, though, Ashley?
Hey, I can totally relate to exactly, what she's saying. I've had conversations with people on Clubhouse and even off of Clubhouse about Kevin Samuels, and I've been listed as a pick Misha. But if you really just take a time out and just listen to the message, the delivery, can be a little questionable, but listen to what exactly he was actually saying.
Wake it
A
up.
lot of the times he actually made a whole lot of sense. And at times, sometimes women don't want to look within and they start thinking, that someone is judging them. But we can all, look at, ourselves and try to take constructive criticism because our shit do stink sometimes.
if a job was to critique, you based off of the same standards, right? Would people complain if they didn't get that job, or would they try to meet the standards to get the job?
Yeah, that's a fact. 21, but the problem is they don't be feeling like they don't be
D,
feeling like they
get
feel like
closer to your mic because your mic sounds like you're distant from your mic. You just sound distant from your mic is all. We can make out what you hear if you just get closer to your mic. You just sound a little bit distant from your mic, beloved.
yeah.
There you go.
It's just forget about the delivery, because the delivery ain't. I've heard pastors deliver some crazy stuff, and if it's just certain them have their own style of how they doing it.
He must have got a phone call.
Call me while I'm in the middle of my soliloquy. Yeah, so
Yep, and they really trying to reach him now because they called him back.
he was in the public eye, and that's why it wasn't that his advice was right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just that some people just have a way about taking things personal instead of just taking the part of it that could make sense. If he's saying that if you did this or did that, you probably get, a better job, man, or house, you know what I mean? You would follow those directions. It just so happens when you talk about people and about them, then that's when it's personal. But the thing about it is, just like everything else, like everything is a critique. You got to wear a suit to get a job.
Exactly.
The type of suit you might put on might dictate if you're gonna get the job or not. So why, if a man or Karrine Steffans is telling, women how to do certain things that work for her, I mean, if it work on 10 guys, then it might work on the 11th guy, but it may not work with you doing it because you're not Karrine Steffans. But to each his own. Go try it and see what happens, or not try it. But I just feel like the message is the message.
But to me, it's funny how someone would work their ass off to meet the criteria to get a job, right? Background checks, the whole 9 yards, but won't do the same thing for a long-lasting relationship that makes sense.
21. I'm the one that I stand on this all the time. Like relationships is the one thing that everybody longs for, wants, but don't think that it's as important as anything else that you gotta fill out an application and do background checks and all that. Everybody just gonna freestyle relationships and let it work itself out. Like, oh, I'm just gonna see how this happens. But everything else, you go to school for college for 21 years, you do all this.
Wake it up,
work,
D.
But then something that you want to have for the rest of your life, i.e., a marriage, you're gonna try to wing it and hope that it works out. That bugs me out about people. But I'm gonna go back on mute. Puerto
Ooh,
Rican's
I
loud.
like to hear. Yeah, I
Wow.
like to hear that. And another thing is, when it comes, since we're talking about Kevin Samuels, right this second is what women have to understand is when he actually started coming out talking, he was actually rooting for us and he was getting into the men shit on the things that they were doing. And it only took a turn when he actually started talking to the women. So I'll go on mute and be cute on that one.
And don't leave out the part that the women called him up. He didn't go on Clubhouse and just start picking at Angel and Ohima, and he didn't just start picking people out. So you can't be mad that you stepped into the ring and got your ass knocked out. Like, you don't step in the ring, like Tupac said, if you don't want to get knocked out.
Don't step in the ring.
Yeah, I think the reason why people don't work for relationships, why some don't work for relationships but will work for a job is because I think some people perceive a job in college as having tangible, measurable results. So a job, that the salary, for example, is going to be $70K. That's something that's measurable. That's something that's tangible. Graduating from college, that degree, that's something that's measurable. That's something that's tangible. Whereas with a relationship, there's wiggle room for people to be subjective about things. So sometimes people can overvalue themselves or undervalue themselves or think that they aren't doing those things because they are not using any type of tangible measuring stick to define whether or not the things that they're doing to get this particular person is in fact realistic. So for example, a man may feel like he should date a woman that's a quote unquote 10, but he refuses to get a job. But just because he in his heart of hearts feels that he deserves this 10, then he should just have that. As opposed to really saying, okay, a woman like that, what does she want? What does she require? Do I have those things? Okay, these are the gaps between where I'm at now and the things that this particular person wants. So these are a succession of steps that I need to take to be this particular person to get this particular thing. And I'm gonna park
All
it there.
right, can I say something behind what Ohima just said? I feel like on top of what she just said, a job you can get a boss that pisses you off and it can run your stress level up
I know where he's
and
going with
stresses
this.
you out. You could get again. For me, if I find a woman that lights me up, I'm light on my feet. I'm moving around. I'm wanting to get up and work out. I'm wanting to go to work and provide. Like there's certain things that the right type of relationship will bring you as well too. It will bring you those things. So I understand what Ohima's saying, but I also I go by the way of people make me happy. Like things don't really things make me happy for the moment, but as long as I got good people or a good person in my corner, that normally motivates me to be. Because people are people, they can motivate you, they can piss you off, or they can motivate you. A
Right.
job, it's what it is to make. If it's just to make money and it's not a career, then it's just a job. And a lot of people do a lot of shit for just a job. Let's keep that 100. A lot of people jump through a lot of hoops for shit that's just to make money. And if you want to just make money, there's way other
Way
ways you
other
can do
ways
that
to do
without
that.
stressing yourself out. So I want to add that to what's being said, and hopefully we can break that down even deeper later on, because I think that's a deeper conversation about relationships, because we find ourselves talking about them all the time. I mean, obviously your podcast and your brand is based on it, but we could talk about anything and it goes back to a relationship. But it seems like that's the thing that everybody wants to talk about, but nobody can figure it out.
You know why
The
that is?
problem,
Let me I just say one thing, 21. I think the reason why that is because it's viewed as an absolute when relationships are in absolute. Relationships and through some through some lenses could be perceived as abstract, right? Meaning it's there, but you don't really know that it's. I mean, meaning that there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things, but what's right for me might be wrong for you, and there's no absolute matter of fact. This is a water jug. What I'm holding in my right hand is a water jug. You hear me? This in my left hand is a pen. You hear me? So there's no any of that when it comes to a relationship. So whatever it is as it pertains to each and every one of us is not all it's all subjective. You know, so what works for Broadway might not work for someone else. And I think people speak on things as of a matter of fact, but it's not a matter of fact. It's a matter of your opinion based off of and around what you like. And I'm king for doing that, right? But the other narrative that I like to push out there is holding yourself accountable in regards to what it is that you're doing. Because if you go out there and you hurt somebody's mom, would you be okay with somebody hurting your mom? You know? Or if you're passing judgment if you're passing judgment on somebody else, what about the things that's going on with you and in your life at this very moment? So these are things to consider why relationships are the hot topic.
yeah, I don't know. I think I believe, like, as far as relationship goes, you can't you can't walk in somebody else's shoes. My size 10 ain't your size 9, right? You know, my size 9.5 is not somebody else's 12.5. So
Right.
we can't try to, like, put our foot in somebody else's shoes and walk their walk. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So your relationship is your relationship. If it's 50-50, that will work for you. If it's 100-100, that still works for you. If you're a housewife, that works for you. It's not gonna the same relationship is not gonna work for everybody the same way. And a lot of people try to pursue one type of relationship and it doesn't work.
It
Because
doesn't
it doesn't
work.
work for everybody.
And let me ask you something. Do you think the reason why that may be 21 is because they are trying to appease other people and that might not be necessarily what they want? I'm asking you that question because I don't watch some of my boys, like watching them in previous situations and say, oh, all right, he's cool with that. But then watching them in new situations and watching my other boys clown them and be like, yo, you okay with that? Oh, you bugging. And then they'll start developing these feelings about things that really they don't care about. But you're saying that you do because you watching other people, how other people react to you. So I'm asking.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's an actual fact. Everybody won the Jay-Z Beyonce story. Everybody won
Sure.
the
The happy ending, the power
Russell
couple.
Wilson and Sierra.
Yes.
Everybody won. They won that fairy tale. That shit not reality, bro. It's really not. Because here's what, right? And I was talking to a female friend of mine. I mean, she was talking about Future and Sierra and Russell Wilson. And I'm like, yo, do you understand? There's a lot of women out here who think just like Future, but they want a man like Russell Wilson.
What do you mean think like Future, but want to what the women think like Future? They
There's a
want
lot of women that think just like Future, have the same mentality of a Future, but they want a man like Russell Wilson.
Oh, it doesn't match is what he's saying.
That don't go together. And that's what we do, right? We in our community, we look at the guy on the block, that the quote unquote power couple, the street dude with his girl's a nurse, and that's what we want. It's like, that's not for you, bro. Know what I mean?
It's outside your tax bracket. You ain't willing to put in the work for that. Or if you are willing to put in the work for it, sometimes the work meaning being less edgy, because you can't be so what you're saying is I remember we was having a conversation some time ago, probably on the pod sometime, and somebody had woke up and said, I want the men that don't have, all the men that have kids, go be with the women that don't have kids, and all of the men that don't have kids, go be with the women that don't have kids, because it evens and levels the playing field, right? So it's almost like to say, you want something that you don't particularly, your hand doesn't call for, because you aren't in that particular position yourself. I know that's my back way.
Easy.
Yeah.
You want it easy. You want to hand it to you. You want it tailor-made. It don't work like that.
Don't work
you know
like
what I'm saying? You got to pay for tailor-made clothes. Tailor-made clothes ain't cheap.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't have Dapper Dan back in the days because they couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? You had to go to the Macy's or Bloomingdale's and buy the regular polo and the regular Tommy Hilfiger and the regular Calvin Klein that they had in the store.
Do you believe that, and this is a general question for the room, appreciate you, 21. Do you believe that Kevin Samuels and Karrine Steffans, they've inside of, because it's almost like if you're doing something, you tend to do it even more or add more, more ass to it, because you see the response that you're getting. So I guess what I'm asking is do you guys feel or believe that either one of the two added more to it to embellish certain things, to make it bigger, larger than life, or larger than the original component of the story?
If they could monetize off of it, of course I thought they did that. So they can monetize off of it.
But see, when that happens, right? When that happens, people from a distance can't tell who is who. So if you knew that she slept with this person, if you knew, he was married or whatever the case may be, once upon a time, not long ago, excuse me. If you knew he was in these spaces not long ago and she was moving in a certain way, you didn't need more information than that to buy into the story. And I feel as though people will see something and they'll abandon their initial feeling for what is being shown to them. Like, if I'm looking outside, if I just came from outside and it's not raining, then I look outside and it's raining, I'm more subjected to believe that it's raining outside, right? Even though I know I literally just came up and it's not. So what I'm saying is people abandon the rollout. They'll say and see things and be like, oh, well, because Karrine Steffans might have been with Bow Wow or Lil Wayne or whomever, they'll start to get into the bag of abandoning the fact that maybe she's putting more gas on the fire in some of the things that she's saying, because it might not be exactly what she's portraying or exactly what he's portraying it to be, but they much rather be comfortable with believing what's being shown to them opposed what their initial feelings are telling them. Hopefully I didn't confuse you guys in that. Ashley, how you feel, Queen?
Hey, yeah, I've been totally, rocking with you over here, listening. And I think at times, don't look so much at the person, but look at the message. Because I think that's where things start getting, misconstrued. Because you start looking at the individual, breaking them down, trying to figure out where their shortcomings may or may not have been, and look at the actual message. Does this apply to you or not? If it doesn't apply, like we always say, let it fly. But if it applies, do the work. And that is the problem. People do not want to do the work.
Yes.
And they start implementing their relationships based upon other people's relationship. And the thing is, my mom used to say something about how people want, that king size bed, but are you willing to pay for the king size sheets and duvet that has to go on there? So listen, you may
Wake
want
that
that,
up.
but are you going to do
The
what
work.
it takes to actually be able to cultivate this? So hey, I'm about to go on mute.
Hey, listen, I need everybody in here right now. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button to the link pinned up top. Broadway the Giant, hit the subscribe button and like the video. Take a time out, just leave. We on Clubhouse, so you can leave and do two things can be true on Clubhouse. So make sure you subscribe, and hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. Listen, man, I tell you like this, man. Simply put, I believe that there was areas of opportunity on both Karrine Steffans' side and Kevin Samuels' side. When we talking about advice, I think that they gave out some good advice. I think that somehow, some way, they figured out their niche and they capitalized on it. And I'm not ever knocking anybody for getting to their hustle and getting to their bag. I think that it's on us, the people that's calling up to the Kevin Samuels show to ask them to be critiqued, the people that's actually going out to support Karrine Steffans, because let's wake it up for a moment. Let's not be confused. If you go out there and you've ever bought or supported a Kevin Samuels video or Karrine Steffans book, you support them, right? Right? That's the definition of supporting a narrative, right? So to some extent or another, right? And let's just be more confident. What's confident? What does that word mean? Let's be more conscious of what we're supporting and what we're putting out there, and let's stop abandoning our innate feeling, that gut feeling that us men have, and those that intuition that ladies say they have. Like, let's stop abandoning that and run towards that, right? Because there's a lot of things and narrative that's pumped out there that to some extent or another don't serve us, and it don't go with who we are and who we want to be represented as. You get what I'm saying? So any final thoughts? I see you guys are tapped in on Instagram. Any final thoughts? Karrine,
Bro, I'm gonna say this, right, bro?
Yes, sir.
My grandmother used to tell me the same shit Kevin Samuels was saying. And she was telling me that my grandmother died in 94. I was 14 when she died.
Sorry to hear that, beloved.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good, right? But from the time I was 7, 8 years old, she was dropping the same jewels on me up until the day she passed away. So his ideologies is not something new. It's something that's been around for a while. It's just that we live in a society now that people are politically correct and they don't want to upset anyone, so they keep their ideas and their thoughts to themselves.
So 21, let me ask you something, and this is to everybody too. Do you guys believe that if it was a woman that was, let's reverse everything for a moment. If Kevin Samuels was a woman saying all the things that Kevin Samuels say, right, to men largely and few women, and Karrine Steffans was a man and she was saying everything that the woman version of Karrine Steffans was saying, but was giving that advice and ousting people. What I'm asking is would it matter? I think that it would. I personally, I think that it would matter. I think if a woman was, I think if men was calling up, it'd be women saying, "Yo, listen, you know, men need to do better, whatever the case may be." And again, I'm a man, so I'm speaking from that viewpoint. I don't know what it is to be a woman, but I also think the reverse on Karrine Steffans' side. If she was a man that was ousting people, I don't think it would have been a New York Times bestseller. I don't think that he would have a career, a longevity career for all these many years that Karrine Steffans has had if Karrine was a man. I don't think so.
Broadway?
Let's wake that up. Stand in front of that, 21.
Because then she will be considered a snitch. And men don't snitch. Men don't kiss and tell. That's the difference.
Wake that up.
Because here's what, right? What's her name? Iyanla Van Zam? What's her name?
What's her name? Who?
She was saying
Iyanla.
Right. She was saying some of the same shit Kevin Samuels was saying. And once they figured out her backstory, she got quiet. She wasn't trying to get canceled. Word?
What's her name, King?
I can never say her name.
Iyanla Van Zell.
Yeah,
Her name is Iyanla Van
Van
Zant.
Sant. Y'all
I'm
killing
sorry,
the
I'm sorry, Ohima. My bad.
Thank you, Ohima. She got tired of you messing that name up. Ladies, would you guys beg to differ? If the two was different?
It's not that, I'm going to be honest, I think we live in a very shallow society. I think the reason why Kevin got more steam was because aesthetically he presented himself as the high value man that women were reaching for. So he was tall, he looked physically fit, he dressed well, clean shaven type of image. And so I think that from an aesthetic standpoint, that also helps in regards to creating some level of credibility and making women want to call up his channel. Iyanla does not have what I guess Black America would consider to be the whole bad bee look. But if she had that look and she was giving the same advice, I think more people would listen.
Hey, listen, look. Shout out to Dr. Job. Pull him up. Listen, I think here's another side to it too, right? And I acknowledge and understand what you're saying too, Benny, right? It gave them something to aspire towards, right? And saying, hey, this is what I am, but I'm probably not carrying on like such through and through. Shout out to my guy Prem, the _collector's traits on Instagram. He said men would be called a girly mouth if he spoke on women he crept with, right? He said, understand American brainwashed Negroes in America don't want a Kevin Samuels. Understand American brainwashed niggas don't want a Kevin Samuels. He promotes love uplifts. Let me see what he said. Yeah, no, he's going in. He said, because once we love each other, we will be united. I got something we're going to talk about, right? Got something we want to talk about, right? It's not going to happen today, but it's going to happen in the next few days. I'm just getting all my information together, right? We're going to talk about something. And it's powerful to love unites, right? It's powerful to in that direction, right? Welcome, Dr. Ja. Dr. Ja, how are you feeling today, King?
Feeling good, brother. Just tuning in, trying to see what's going on with the conversation. So I'm going to just follow up what you got going on.
All right, cool. So let me do a soft reset, beloved. What's happening is we talking about Kevin Samuels versus Karrine Steffans. We know who Kevin Samuels is. And if you are of a particular age, you know who Karrine Steffans is, a.k.a. Superhead, a.k.a. Elizabeth Overseen, something like that. And the advice that they give, right? Karrine Steffans has never been in a faithful monogamous relationship. Kevin Samuels was once upon a time married and passed away not married. You understand what I'm saying? So we're pretty much asking, who advice would you take? Kevin Samuels or Karrine Steffans, and why? The why is important.
Now I got you. So I'm familiar with, of course, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the dead, and I'm also familiar with Karrine Steffans, also known as Superhead, and all of that stuff. One of the things I and if you pick a side, I would say in regards to um, I would say my opinion,
Sure.
Kevin Samuels, and here's the reason why. Although he presented
Oh, he just cut out. Hold on, Dr. Ja, give us one.
about
All right, say that again. You said Kevin Samuels and then you cut out, beloved.
yeah, so I was saying advice I'll take is Kevin Samuels is here's why. Reason why I would say Kevin Samuels is because I think for me, we live in a society where I'm I'm gonna just be straight up.
Please.
Reason why I say Kevin Samuels is because, in my opinion, Kevin Samuels is the guy that's trying to uplift men, particularly black men, and help them understand that you do have a value in this particular world, and you need to understand your value in this world. And if you think you have a certain value and it's not represented by the world, you need to get your shit together. So that's why I said Kevin Samuel, in my opinion. On the women, when he talking about women, I don't really focus on that part particularly. I'm in a committed relationship, so that piece I don't really get into all of that. But I'm saying for the men's side, when he analyzing the men, I do agree with that, because I think as men we need to get our shit together. One, but the guys who do got their shit together, just stay on your purpose and do what you got to do, and you'll attract the right woman for you. So that's why I say in terms of Kevin Samuel.
Nah, I appreciate that because a lot of times people are just ingesting everything, right? They give commentary on everything, right? And I'm here for it, right? Because I do the same thing. I see all parts of it or whatever. But it's interesting that you say that because not everybody has the foresight to see. You know what? He has different point of views, and I'm going to stick to this point of view. I know what he's saying in that in that space. Same thing perhaps with the Karrine Steffans. I know what she's saying in that space, but she do add value in this space. So I'm going to listen to and adhere to this text and not that one. The one that serves me, that serves my purpose.
No, that's a fact. Because if you try to listen to any and everything, people are people, and this is what I've learned about just my 29 years. People are people, man, and people going to have different points of views on different things. But whatever you trying to get and understand for your point of view, you're going to listen to that. Now, I'm gonna look at it from my objective standpoint. Yeah, there's some effed up things he says, and there's some effed up things Karrine Steffans says, but that's based on their experience. You got to focus on what helps your experience. And so and I'm gonna just stand on that.
So let me read this, right? Let me read this in the comments on YouTube. Said Kevin Samuels wasn't the first and he won't be the last. I think he also was clickbait material. Once he started posting just smaller clips of him flipping on women or telling their ratings, or excuse me, once he started flipping on women, his ratings went viral and they got reposted. Passed away, not married, on top of a woman he often said was undervalued. Gotcha. Yeah. I think you see the thing with how somebody passed away, you can pass away and not be where you want to be in life, but you had all the ambitions of going there, right? And you was doing the right things to go there. So I don't hold that against him that he passed away unmarried or whatever the case may be, because that wasn't his intentions, right? He had heart problems, or allegedly whatever happens. I don't want to get into the conspiracy theory side to it, but Whatever the case is, I'm not gonna judge a person that has ambitions of going to school to become a doctor and they're doing the work to become a doctor, but somehow, some way they pass away on a road to that because that's what they was actually doing the work to become that, right? I think that in regards to who he passed away with, you know, shit, I mean, respectfully, and I don't say I'm caping. I just feel like sometimes we want a little candy. You know, we could be health nuts, right? We could be health nuts, but we all have a cheat day, right? Where and does it make his overall point of view and narrative that he spewed out there less valued? Because he wasn't. Yeah. Go ahead, Benny. I
was gonna say, the thing is, the difference between the example you gave and what he said is, if you made a career out of telling people you can die alone, and then that's how you pass away, then I think it's different as opposed to you just working hard towards a particular goal and just being extremely focused on achieving that goal, and maybe something happened and you weren't able to make that mark. I think that when you make it a point to consistently tell other people you're not gonna have this, and then you yourself die not having that, I think that's what makes the difference.
Got you. Okay. We got the collectors up here on Instagram. I want him to tap in, give his food for thought, or rather mine. What up, though, beloved? Hold on. Let me get you set up the right way over here. Hold on, King. Hold on, beloved. I want the people to hear what you got to say. Let the giant roar. Let the giant roar. Let me see what's happening here. I got to reconnect you so that you tap in and you come in loud and clear, beloved. Give me 1 second here. Get this right for you. Because my thing is this, right? I see what Ohima's saying, and I don't want to discredit it to any stretch of the imagination because I understand why she's saying it. You know, I understand very well why she's saying it. You know, let me see if he's back with me. Tap in with me, King. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Now, what's your energy, beloved? Kevin Samuels versus Karrine Steffans.
Karrine Steffans is what this country wants. You know what I'm saying? So
no. Karrine Steffans is what? We missed that.
That's what this country wants. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I just watched a documentary on Marilyn Monroe last night. Karrine Steffans ain't got nothing on Marilyn Monroe. Promoting some shit that would have had us in a better space. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have had us in a better space. I'm not taking nothing away from Karrine Steffans. I'm not taking nothing away from side chicks. And what I want to say is nobody's perfect. You're going to have people out there that's going to cheat in life. So females like her are going to always remain. But if we put that in the forefront of our, like, you see how white people put marriage in the forefront of their thing?
Yes.
But they do the worst establishment in the back doors. They do the worst establishment in the back doors.
Absolutely.
But they do not promote that shit. You see what I'm saying? They don't promote it. They promote marriage, they promote family, and they practice it too. They do all that other shit behind closed doors after they secure their people being straight.
Wake it up, Kate.
Where he was saying, I seen things that he had said that I agree with, and it was things that he had said that I didn't agree with. But you know what I do agree with?
What's that?
Black families uniting, period. Black men and black women staying together, period. Not out. You know why? Because it does not put us in a position of independence. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't put us there. That shit that Karrine Steffans is promoting, that shit put us in a position of just recklessness, chaosness. We thinking with our dicks. We ain't thinking with our brains. We're not thinking for our children. We thinking for ourselves. And I'm speaking from a place of coming from that. I'm not speaking from a place of experience. I'm 40 years old. Now I understand the relevance of a real, you know what I'm saying, solid relationship, a real solid household. You know what I'm saying? That shit plays a major part. I had to tell my homeboys the other day because I'm realizing it. You can have kids, but if you ain't, you can have your child in your life, but if you ain't like in your child, shit could go wrong. So that's that part.
Wait. You said if you're not in your child.
If you're not in your child, shit could go wrong. Remember you
Come
had the
on,
topic of
man.
co-parenting and all that?
Yeah.
You was absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? And I seen that through an experience. It doesn't matter co-parenting and all that shit. It's a difference between actually being there and being inside of the child. You know what I'm saying? So what he was promoting is not what America wanted, which means his videos wouldn't get that far on their platforms because we don't own Instagram, we don't own Facebook. You see what I'm saying? He's not gonna get embraced for a book like she's gonna get embraced for a book. You know, but everybody gotta feed their family. But it's like this. Do you want to feed your family by hurting your people? Or do you want to, you know what I'm saying, feed your family by, you know, uplifting your people? Because like Karrine Steffans is based on she's charged off of money. Because she wasn't just fucking niggas, she was fucking rich niggas. That was her thing. She was out in rich, successful men, married men. You know what I'm saying? How many Marilyn Monroe ain't out none of them niggas. She was fucking two Kennedys, two brothers. She offed herself before she ousted them niggas. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look, we have to look deeper than what's being shown to us and understand who's even allowing us to see it and hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't in either one of them, but I think Kevin Samuels had something that will help us, and I think that shit Karrine Steffans does is very, very hurtful to our culture because these little girls and these little boys, they see that and they're gonna take that shit for face value and they're gonna play off of it. It's not gonna get us anywhere but in the same position that we are in now, having nothing. We ain't even got homes. We ain't even got families.
Yeah.
Communities. Ain't nothing in common with my neighbor.
Yeah. No, that's solid. That's shit. That's no. You coming in hot. You coming in hot, beloved.
Yeah, 'cause I was tuned in at work, so I couldn't really get on. So I was like, let me wait till I get out, and then I build with the guard.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Was it D that came off his mic? Were you trying to tap in, D?
Yeah. Now I just thought about something where I don't know who that was talking, but I just thought about something.
The collector's choice.
The collector. I figured that was collector. What up, collector? So not nothing directed at him, but I kind of feel like when we keep talking about this, we want to do what we want to do for the black culture or whatever. Like we want to help each other up, and then it always just brings me back to when dudes that's hustling, that's doing what they got to do. Everybody's always trying to do what they got to do to feed their family. But when we talking about the black culture, when niggas was selling drugs and all that shit was killing the black culture, but niggas was getting to their bag.
Whoa. But one thing don't got to do with the other, D.
Right. No, I'm making a point by saying that we always think when somebody is making a book or something that they care about the black culture, and we got to stop believing that they do because they just trying to feed. He said it in what he said. They just trying to feed their family. So to make that into a point, like a lot of people ain't on that type of time that's trying to uplift the whole culture when they doing whatever they doing. Not Kevin Samuels, not Karrine Steffans, not a lot of people. Like not even people. Some people that go to work their 9 to 5. I think they worried about the black culture. They worried about paying their bills so that they can feed their family. So I mean, it's interesting to have these conversations about the culture and what we're trying to do for it. But I don't know that. I think we do need to do it, but I think that some people are trying to do something like outside of just trying to just, like you say, bro, just do the right thing. Like just if everybody just did the right thing, if everybody just did the right thing, we probably would move the same, and our peoples would move, right. So that I don't know what the end result is. I always ask when people speak of the culture, like, are we trying to stay in America, or what are we trying to do? Are we just trying to just be better than other cultures? But anyway, I just thought about that when he said that, because I'm like, damn, if everybody that wrote a book was thinking about bettering everybody else instead of their own pockets, like the world would be perfect, but it's not.
Wow.
But brother, that's what we have to get back to, and that's where we came from. I understand what he's saying is absolutely correct. That's the point. Everybody's doing their own thing now, and nobody's thinking about repercussions. We have to get back to that because, like I said, that's what the white do. That's what the Chinese do. That's what the European do. They don't think about blacks. They think about whites, as they should. They don't think about Asians. They don't think about blacks. They think about Asians, as they should.
Yeah.
Blacks need to think about blacks. We have to start with us, period, and block all that other shit out. Because when we go down under Karrine Steffans' reign, they don't give a fuck. But let their kids start going down under their reign. They're going to stop that shit.
So
you know what I'm saying? We have
hey, Kevin Samuels different.
LJ, what's up, LJ? What's happening?
What's good, y'all? Hey, look, Kevin Samuels was moving different, right? Kevin Samuels was doing something that was selfless, but a lot of time the clips misrepresent him, right? Kevin don't stand to personally gain anything from educating women, but he was telling women who really not the type of woman that guys with a lot of money who have a lifestyle that affords them a certain freedom go after. It's like, it's probably a great guy that's close to you that you're not even giving a shot.
Oh, that's the wake up call.
Right, he woke it up and got a phone call.
He had a positive message, whether he was following it or not. It could have been 5 people that would have followed it.
But
you know what I'm saying? Like with the brother. Right.
But see, again, right? Respectfully, I think it has to do with the fact that he was a man. Honestly.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think it has the fact to do with the fact that he was a man. Because if it was a woman that said a lot of the same things that he was saying to other men, they would be looked at as they was holding them accountable. I don't know. I mean,
and we lead that.
Listen. I'm not. Listen. I love women and I love men. Pause. But I just think that it's one of those things where, because it's coming from a man and he was direct with it, he didn't care about how you felt, and he was saying the truth as it is to what he believes. And again, we can't get away from the fact that people called up there for that. People sensationalized it and got him to go viral and become who he was by way of posting it. So who are you upset with? The person that cut down the tree or the fact that it fell? Anyway, we got Billy in here, Billy Bergris. Any last thoughts, King? We got the collectors up here. Any last thoughts? Hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the like button. You watching us on Facebook, hit the like button. Tap in with me, collectors. Last words, King.
Last words is, man, even though these people are doing it for their personal gain, it's about the message that they promote. Because just like the brother said, prior in the community, it was brothers that was selling drugs. But as of now, the brothers that sell drugs, they don't give the kids dollars. They don't take care of their mothers. They don't take care of their grandmothers. They're doing it for a fucking selfish gain. You got a lot of drug dealers that sold them fucking drugs, but gave back. They saved a lot of little niggas from selling drugs like me. That told me, here go a couple of dollars, I'll not catch you out here. Nowadays, I just seen something today, Wade, and I'm going to leave it at this. Men lead. That's why Kevin Samuels couldn't have did this shit like you said. You got little girls doing drill rap. I'm done. I'm going to park it there. You know why? Because all these little niggas is doing drill rap. Now you got little girls on the fucking internet making drill rap. Raps about killing other little girls. Where the fuck is we going?
So whoa. No. Stay right there. Because what you're saying, are you saying, because I want to be clear on what you're saying. Are you saying men lead so women get it from men? So if there's drill rap, women are now doing drill rap, so they're getting it from the men, spinning the block, bending the curve on the op, so forth and so on. Are you saying that in relation to the conversation that we're having, that women are getting this, and what they're doing, the Karrine Steffans, that comes from a man because she's learned that from a man first?
That's right. Because
wait, hold on, King. So you saying wait, King, you saying before we look at a Karrine Steffans, we gotta hold ourselves accountable as men for the bullshit that we've invoked and enabled women to be a part of, to do some salacious shit like that?
Yes.
Wow. We're gonna leave it there. Point made. We gotta look in, right? We gotta look in at ourselves first, and before we start looking at respectfully, forget about her, forget about him. It's about what we're doing or we're not doing, the lack of what we're not doing that's allowing that propaganda to be spewed out there. All right, we're gonna get out of here, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm done. I appreciate you, King. That was the way to do it right there. We out of here. Y'all know